Adventure Time is no stranger to dark and complex meanings behind episodes, even though it's considered as a kid's show. But let's be real, all of us kinda know that it's borderline isn't. Yeah, from the surface level, it looks like a normal kid's show with its fictional cute characters and bright colors. But when it gets dark and creepy, Adventure Time really pushes through the limits of disturbing content. One of the most infamous episodes that we all know and love is the Freaky Deer episode, and that being considered as one of the creepiest episodes in Adventure Time history. And Finn is definitely no stranger to these traumatic experiences. He's experienced all of these firsthand. With all the evil beings, all the evil traumatic experiences, yeah, he's experienced it all. But there's this particular episode that seems like not many people have talked about, but still has a fair share of controversies when it first released. And it's the episode Breezy, and you will understand why it was controversial. The episode begins with Finn getting consulted in the hospital because of his arm that got decapitated in the last few episodes. But he's not getting consulted for the arm. He's getting consulted for the flower that grew from the arm. Dr. Princess asks how Finn feels and he says he doesn't feel anything, which is then Dr. Princess prescribes Finn to go out and have fun since flowers thrive on good vibes. Quote unquote, have fun. Finn then asked Dr. Princess out to go on a date to a party and got brutally rejected. The next scene you see Finn walking to a party all alone, sad and droopy. And this is where a new character comes in, and it's a bee. Her name is Breezy. She saw Finn walking and then kind of fell in love with his flower. After that, Finn finally arrived at the party trying to have a good time but struggles as Breezy is annoying him. And Breezy finally noticed that the flower is not just a flower but is attached to a person. Finn tells Breezy about how he wants to have a good time making out with Crab Princess, but realized it's too much of hassle and might as well just give up and let the flower die. When Breezy heard that, she made it her mission to keep the flower as fresh as possible by helping Finn to have a good time, quote unquote, good time. Breezy helped Finn successfully back Crab Princess and they kissed, but in Finn's mind, they made out. Finn complains that although it worked, he isn't really satisfied. So when Breezy heard that, she went on to help Finn to get more and more makeouts with more and more princesses. 1 princess, 2 princess, 3... yeah, it was a bunch of girls. In the next scene, they are all back at the treehouse where Finn had a small little argument with Jake and then went on to vent to Breezy a little bit. Breezy comforts Finn and then tells him her story that she is a virgin queen bee.
Get this, I'm actually a virgin queen bee. I was born to lead a hive, destined for a life of obligation and ritual.
Whoa, bummer.
And also tells him that if she were to eat royal jelly, her carefree days are gone. Finn responds and tells Breezy that everyone should have freedom, and freedom to make out with whoever they want. And when Breezy heard that, she follows up with saying this.
You know, it's too bad we're such great buddies, or we could make out with each other.
What?
Which is quite interesting to say, but okay. They both kind of shrugged it off and then proceeded to play around and fell into a river. They passed by a little bee house thing, and a bee farmer kind of came out to warn them. Finn fires back and then they start fighting. Finn kind of got manhandled in this fight, but then Breezy decides to go get some royal jelly from their hive home and proceeds to down it. After she drank the whole bottle, she transformed into this super bee being with crazy powers, like telekinesis powers. She saved Finn and then proceeds to confess her love to Finn. Finn, being hurt and confused, responds and absolutely rejected Breezy and said that he's just trying to take things casual. Breezy was obviously hurt by this and then flew away, which kind of left a mark in Finn's brain vault. And then we proceed to the next scene in the woods. This is where it gets really bad. Finn and Lumpy Space Princess were seen in the woods alone, and Finn was dancing around trying to have fun, with LSP looking really impatient. LSP suddenly yells and tells Finn that she's ready to make out with him. Finn gave a kiss and pulled back because in Finn's mind, remember, in Finn's mind, that's what making out meant, just a kiss on the lips. But LSP was not satisfied with that, and she pulled Finn and, well, let me just show you.
Where are you going?
That's it. We made up.
What? What? I didn't wait infinity for a dip in the kiddie pool. We're taking this to the deep end.
But I'm not a good swimmer.
Don't be scared, Finn. Lumpy's on lifeguard duty.
Yup, that just happened. You can see why this was traumatic. Not just for us viewers, but especially for Finn. He basically got SA'd on the TV show, and as a kid watching, I didn't notice this at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this scene was cut out in some countries. But after this scene, you can see how sad Finn looks as his flower starts dying. But then Breezy appears and starts expressing her love through a song as Finn sings back. Even though it's Breezy there, Finn sees Princess Bubblegum instead. Suddenly, his flower goes crazy and grew into a massive tree, which then explodes, and to Finn's surprise, his arm is back. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Yeah, this was a lot to handle. This whole episode was basically a depiction of a depressed dude that goes around trying to mess with girls to have some temporary happiness. Although it's just kisses shown in the show, it seems to depict like catching a body basically. But since it's a kids show, you can't really show inappropriate scenes like that. And then all those messing around with girls caught up to Finn, and he basically got by LSP. You can see right here in the scene, he got assaulted. He basically got assaulted. And the craziest part is that in the future episodes after this situation happened, Finn would go on to hang out with LSP as if nothing ever happened. I saw in a comment somewhere that said that this was a perfect depiction of boys getting essayed. But I obviously cannot have any say to this because I myself have never experienced this firsthand. So it's up to you all in the comments to decide whether or not this is true. But as controversial as this episode was and how traumatic this was for Finn, I believe the writers were very well aware of what they were trying to do here and what they're trying to portray. And it's to show us that what will happen if you have a negative coping mechanism to sadness, which will eventually lead to you being used by someone. In this case, they use LSP as an example, whether or not it be your body or anything else. So there is obviously a lesson to be learned from this episode, but tell me what all of you guys think in the comments and give a subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Love y'all. Peace.